Did you know if you get convicted of driving while intoxicated, DWI in Texas, you can be fined $6,000, even if it's your first time, and that's separate and apart from any fine assessed by the criminal court. $6,000. This fine is assessed by the state of Texas, and even in the pandemic, they still want you to pay $6 grand. Hello folks, I'm Andrew Williams, and this is another edition of the Fedora Lawyer. This is where you can find answers to questions about criminal court proceedings, probation, trials, misdemeanors, felonies, how to avoid a conviction, and a whole lot more. I'm a board-certified criminal defense lawyer, and I've been trying cases to juries for 28 years. This channel is designed for you. This is your source of legal information. In this video, I'll tell you about the very hefty traffic fine you could face if you're convicted of DWI. We call it the super fine, but it's actually a fine related to driving while intoxicated. If you're interested, you can find the law in the Texas Transportation Code 709.001. Now, the DWI fine only applies to you if you're charged with DWI on or after September 1st, 2019. If your case is before that, then the fine doesn't apply to you. Now, the fine is imposed by the state of Texas, not the criminal court where you're convicted, and it works like this. The fine is $3,000 for a first DWI conviction, $4,500 for a second conviction, and a whopping $6,000 if the alcohol test result is 0.15 or higher. So $3,000 for the first one, $4,500 for the second one, and a massive $6,000 if your alcohol test is 0.15 or higher, regardless of the number of convictions. Fortunately, the fine can be avoided. One way to avoid this is through the pretrial intervention program. And I have several other videos regarding the details of the program, so you can not only avoid the fine, you can avoid the conviction as well. Another way is for the court to find that you're indigent. If the court finds you're financially unable to pay the fine, the court can waive the fine. Most judges I have been before will allow you to just explain your financial situation in person. And if the judge then finds that you're indigent, the judge can waive the fine and it won't be imposed. Now, most judges don't really like the fine, and they'll usually find a way to waive it if they can. And this is especially true during the pandemic. And of course, the third way to avoid the fine is simply don't drink and drive in the first place. Now, the big takeaway from this video is that DWI has collateral consequences. Consequences not directly related to the crime itself. Lawyers who don't practice criminal defense on a regular basis are not always aware of the collateral consequences. And you may not know to ask about such things from your own lawyer. You just expect them to tell you everything. Sometimes they don't because they're not aware of it. But you can avoid the fine by being careful and hiring a knowledgeable lawyer to represent you. That's why it's always a good idea to hire an attorney well-versed in DWI law. Well, that's all I have regarding the DWI fine for now. I hope this video is informative. I hope it helps you understand the consequences of being convicted of DWI. As always, you can leave any comments or questions below, and I'll be happy to answer them. You could also visit my website at andrewwilliamslaw.com. For now, this is the Fedora Lawyer signing off.